And now, let's head out to the ballpark for the call of today's game. Here's Zach Bigley and Josh Warden.
Coming off back-to-back brilliant starts, Jack Leiter takes the hill for the Frisco Rough Riders in Game 2 of the 6-game series with Amarillo. Hi, everybody, and welcome high atop Riders Field into Frisco, Texas. Alongside Josh Warden, I'm Zach Bigley, and very happy to have you along on this beautiful Wednesday evening. It's the Rough Riders and the Sod Poodles renewing their rivalry in the Texas League South Division. Ryan Bliss is in from the right side, and we are set for baseball as Jack Leiter has his sign, winds back, and away we go. It's a fastball up and in, and we are underway at 6:36 in the p.m. Ryan Bliss, the number 30 prospect in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization, against Jack Leiter, who winds back in the 1-0. Fouled straight back, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Leiter, the number 4 prospect in the Rangers organization, and the number 2 pitching prospect, just trailing Owen White, his teammate. 1-2 this year with a 4.35 earned run average. He peers in. He has his sign from Johnson, his catcher, and the 1-1. Breaking ball hit high in the air out to left field. Trevor Hover ranging back shy of the warning track. He's under it, and he makes the catch. 1 away in the first inning for Tim Tawa. It's a beautiful day for baseball in Frisco. 81 degrees, sunshine up above, 7-mile-an-hour winds, lazily blissing out to left field. And Tim Tawa went 0 for 3 in the opener yesterday, stands in from the right side, playing in his 30th game this year, out of the 35 for Amarillo. First pitch. Makes a curveball in the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. He has a homer off Jack Leiter in his career, and Leiter is very familiar with these Amarillo Sod Poodles. He's making his 7th career start against Amarillo. The 0-1. Swinging a foul back this way and just shy of us. 0-2. Leiter in those starts has not fared very well against Amarillo, just 0-2 with a 7.77 earned run average. He's making his 3rd start this year against the Sod Poodles. He looks over the top of his glove. He has his sign. And the right-hander rocks back into his 0-2 pitch. Fastball popped foul right side. It's still no balls and 2 strikes. The great thing working for Jack Leiter, though, is he's coming off 2 of his best starts in his minor league career. At Midland on May 5th. 6 shutout innings, allowing just 3 hits while striking out 7 and walking 2. And then against Wichita last week here at home, 5 innings, allowing just 1 unearned run with 8 strikeouts. 0-2 pitch to Tawa. Check swing, foul ball right side. It's still no balls, 2 strikes. So over those last 2 starts combined in 11 innings, just 1 unearned run on 5 hits, 15 strikeouts in the 11 frames, and just 4 walks. 0-2 toss. Check swing on a curveball low and outside. Here's the first ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, bases clear, just underway, top of the first inning. Yesterday, the Rough Riders took the opener of the series 3-2 over the Sod Poodles. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, got him upstairs with a fastball at 97 for strike 3. Jack Leiter with his first strikeout of the evening. 2 away in the first, and Caleb Roberts steps to the plate. Roberts just activated off the injured list. He's playing in his 10th game of the year. Hitting .270 so far with a homer and 8 runs batted in. Left-handed batter, the catcher this evening. Leiter eyes his target, the pitch. Swinging a line drive to second, up and over Jack Biggers into right field. And it's a base hit for Caleb Roberts in his return back to the roster. Single into right with 2 outs in the first inning. No score. Rough Riders and Sod Poodles. And A.J. Vukovic, the number 12 prospect in the Diamondbacks organization, makes his way to the plate. Jack Leiter throwing with Cooper Johnson for the first time in his career. He had previously been caught by Scott Capers, the pitch. Curveball settles to the outside edge, a strike, and it's 0-1. In 6 of his 7 starts this year, 1 caught by David Garcia, who's now on the injured list for the Rough Riders. Capers on the temporary inactive list. As of today, the 0-1 is a ground ball foul left side. Off the Rough Riders dugout, and it's 0-2. Placed there to make room for Aaron Zavala, who is activated off the injured list today, making his season debut. Defensively in right field and hitting leadoff for the Rough Riders. Cooper Johnson gives the sign to Leiter. He's ready from the stretch. And the right-hander, the 0-2. Fastball outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rest of the defense behind Leiter today is Trevor Hauver in left, Evan Carter in center, and Zavala plays in right. Thomas Ajayci has third, Luis Angel Acuna at short. Jax Biggers is the second baseman. Nick Tanalou holds on. Caleb Roberts at first base. And Johnson sets up high the pitch. Fastball whacked foul back behind home to the screen. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes still on Vukovic. The third baseman for the Sod Poodles is riding an 11-game hitting streak. Batting .348 into this one. Picked up just 1 of 2 hits yesterday for the Sod Poodles in that 3-2 win for the Rough Riders. 1-2. Misses away with the heater. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beg your pardon, that was the slider. Takoa Roby was fantastic. Allowed just 2 runs over his 6 1/3 innings, taking a no-hitter into the 7th. 8 strikeouts. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him upstairs with a fastball for strike 3. Jack Leiter with a couple strikeouts in the first inning. And it's no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base for Jack Leiter in the top of the first. Amarillo nothing. Rough Riders coming to the plate next on the Riders Baseball Network. A welcome back to Aaron Zavala, starting things off for the Rough Riders in the bottom of the first inning. No score between Frisco and Amarillo. Zavala activated off the injured list earlier today. He winds back, or Denny Olivero winds back and deals home to him. It's high, 1 ball and no strikes. Zavala, a former second-round selection out of the University of Oregon. Here's the wind back in the pick. Or pitch home. It's at the top of the zone for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Zavala, the number 8 prospect in the organization by MLB.com. 1-1. Slips a hair outside, 2 balls, 1 strike, and he is known for his very good eye at the plate. Went to the Arizona Fall League last year after finishing the season with the Rough Riders. 2-1. Swing and a miss and a good slider down low and inside. And it's 2-2. And then just 5 games into the Arizona Fall League, he suffered a UCL strain. The 2-2. He swings, grounds it foul right side to the pull side for the left-handed batter, and it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he had to undergo right elbow surgery. It was internal brace surgery on that throwing elbow. 2-2. Swinging a ground ball foul at the plate, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. But he's good to go. The original timetable was to return in June, and here he is on May 17th. Back already. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a soft roller up the middle to the second baseman Tawa, who charges fields and throws out his fellow Oregonian. There's 1 away, and Evan Carter steps to the plate, who hasn't hit in the 2-hole this year. And now he steps in from the left side. And no score, bottom of the first inning, Rough Riders and Sod Poodles. Carter an 0-for-4 day yesterday at the plate, hitting .268 now on the season. And the first pitch. Olivero fits it on the upper edge for a strike with a fastball, and it's 0-1. Denny Olivero very familiar with the Frisco Rough Riders. The pitch. Inside, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack Leiter on one side making his 7th start against Amarillo. Olivero on the other side making his 5th start against the Rough Riders. The 1-1. A swing and a high fly ball deep down the right field line. Enriquez to the warning track, and he makes the catch. Oh, Carter just hit it off the end of the bat. It looked like it had the trajectory initially off the stick, but just towards the end of the barrel. 2 outs. Carter still has yet to leave the ballpark here at home. 4 home runs, all coming on the road. Last year he hit 1 also on the road with Frisco. First pitch to Acuna. He takes just high with a breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Kellen Martin is our home plate umpire today. Mickey Smith down the first base line. Steven Rios Jr. down the third base line. The 1-0. Swinging a grounder back to the hill. Olivero to his left. He spears it and fires onto first in time to get Acuna for the final out of the first inning. No runs, hits, errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the top of the second inning. Our score, no score between the Rough Riders and the Sod Poodles on the Riders Baseball Network. Into the top of the second inning, Rough Riders and Sod Poodles. Neither team has found the scoreboard yet. Jack Leiter on the hill after a couple strikeouts in the first. He returns back to the mound. Davison De Los Santos starts it off for the Sod Poodles. Just a measly hit for Amarillo in the first. A base hit from Caleb Roberts, the only damage against Leiter. The Summit, New Jersey native looks in for his sign. He's got it. And the pitch home. High and inside, backed him off the plate with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball all the way back to the backstop. And De Los Santos peeled away from it. 1 ball and no strikes. Clearly no intent behind that. These two teams have played each other a lot. This is their 11th game already head-to-head. The teams are 5-5, but no intent. Leiter just trying to get ahead in the 1-0 pitch. Fastball chopped off the plate, back up over the hill. Acuna charges, picks it short with a bare hand, fires to first, and he got him. Oh, what a play. Acuna with the bare hand, the only play he could make. Was able to grab it and throw him out at first. Wow. An incredible play by the defender of the month in the organization in April. Luis Angel Acuna, spectacular. And Adrian Del Castillo steps in. First pitch, curveball, just a bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Luis Angel Acuna has just been so good with the glove, and that time he didn't even need the glove. But he has been amazing at shortstop for the Rough Riders. The 1-0 pitch, fouled straight back. And the count goes to 1-1 on Del Castillo. Talking with the Rough Riders manager, Carlos Cardoza, says he has been so impressed with the quick maturation of Acuna. It's still just 21 years old, especially defensively. The 1-1. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And a guy who has an incredibly high ceiling with what he can do. He is showing off every single day why he's a top prospect. The 2-1. Just low. 3 balls and 1 strike. A 1 out, no score. Top of the second inning. Leiter back into his wind of the 3-1. Fastball ripped foul right side. Crushed at 109 miles an hour off the bat from Del Castillo. He has a homer against Leiter in his career. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes on the designated hitter. Leiter nods yes to the sign, winds back and offers in. Check swing. He went around for strike 3 on a slider down low and inside. Jack Leiter with his 3rd strikeout. 2 away in the second. Robbie Enriquez stands in. Just a devastating back foot slider to the left-hander. And he couldn't hold back. Robbie Enriquez climbs to the plate. Another lefty. And Leiter offers in. Fastball just high off the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes. It's one thing Leiter has really changed well from his game last year to this year. Last season, he allowed 11 home runs, 8 of them to left-handed batters. The 1-0 pitch. Just high. 2 balls, no strikes. And in general, lefties had more success against him. Well, it's been the opposite this year. Lefties are just hitting 196 against him. Righties hitting 261. 2-0. Top of the zone for a called strike. 2-1 on Enriquez. Leiter has had the 5th highest swinging strike rate in the Texas League. Opponents are swinging and missing 16% of the time. 2-1. Top of the zone again for a strike with a fastball at 96, and it's 2-2. So the most pitches out of any pitcher in the Texas League, just under 600 entering into the start. 2nd in the league in strikeouts. 44 strikeouts in 31 innings entering into this one. He has his sign from Johnson. 2-ball, 2-strike count. He brings it home. Swing and a miss. He got him. Fastball right down the pipe. He challenged Robbie Enriquez, and he got him to swing through it. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings, and a dazzling defensive play behind him. Jack Leiter goes into the bottom of the second. Rough Riders and Sod Poodles. No score on the Riders Baseball Network. Bottom half of the second inning, first pitch to Thomas Sajaci is just low. 1 ball, no strikes. No score between the Rough Riders and the Sod Poodles. Denny Olivero, a 1-2-3 first, and he goes back to work. The 1-0 pitch. Low off the outside corner. 2 balls, no strikes to Sajaci, who went 0 for 4 yesterday. But he's hit safely in 14 out of his last 17 games. The pitch. On the outside edge for a strike. 2-1 with the fastball. We're talking about Olivero, who's making his 5th career start against the Rough Riders. 6.75 ERA head-to-head. 2-1. So JC watches low and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. These are 2 teams that have seen a lot of each other over the last 3 seasons. Really the last 4 if you count 2019. 3-1. Swinging a high pop-up foul right side. It's 3-2, but they'll see even more of each other this year. The way the schedule is built out, each team will play each other a little bit more if you start off the season against that team. So the Rough Riders will take 2 more trips to Hodgetown. 1 back in the payoff home. High off the outside corner, ball 4. Thomas Sajaci works a walk here in the second, and Dustin Harris makes his way to the plate.
It's just his 2nd walk this month in May. And 12 games played and his 56th plate appearance of the month. He's a free swinger, but a rare Thomas Sajaci base on balls.
Well, he elevates his game a little bit more. I mean, his ability to hit is undoubted. Really what he said is he wants to be a little more patient this year. He's done that. First pitch to Harris. He swings and misses on a half-hearted swing. Pitch down low and inside. And it's 0-1. So JC's 2 home runs have come in the last week. Hitting .286 entering today. 0-1. Harris swings, chops it foul right side. And it's 0-2. Dustin Harris went 3 for 4 yesterday with the dramatic home run into right center field in the bottom of the 8th inning. That was to give the Rough Riders a 3-2 lead, and that score would hold. Nick Starr locking it down with his first save of the year. 0-2. Swinging a foul at the plate. Still 0-2. That home run was the Rough Riders' first go-ahead hit in the 8th inning or later all season. First time they'd won a game that was decided by 1 run or 2 runs all year. It was also the first win for the Rough Riders in their final at-bat. First win for the Rough Riders when tied after the 6th inning all season. A really important win, snapping the 7-game losing streak. Throw goes over to first base, and Sajaci's back on his belly. No score, bottom of the 2nd inning. Dustin Harris was a really big reason why the Rough Riders got that win last night. 0-2. Swinging a high fly ball down the right field line towards the corner, and Enriquez tracks it down and makes the backhanded catch. Dustin Harris hit it hard at 103 miles an hour off the bat, but right at Enriquez going towards the line, he was able to make the grab. 1 away, and here's Nick Tanalou. Tanalou homered yesterday, part of a 2-for-3 affair. Runner at first, 1 out, no score. Olivero from the stretch, he delivers. Sajaci takes off, swinging a ground ball foul left side, and it's 0-1. Tanalou hitting .283 through 18 games with 3 homers and 11 RBIs. He's been a huge part of this team, not only on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, being a mainstay at first base for a team that doesn't have a natural first baseman, and he's part of that. The majority of his career has been spent at either third base or second base. Playing a lot of first the last couple of years here in the Rangers org. So JC leads again. And the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball to third. Backhanded stop. Vukovic throws on to second for one and on to first for the double play. Well, 5-4-3 double play for the Amarillo Sod Poodles. And that gets them out of this second inning unscathed. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Rough Riders get their first base runner, but not their first run. No score to the top of the third. Josh Warden on the mic next on the Riders Baseball Network.
Well, 2 scoreless innings so far for Jack Leiter and the Frisco Rough Riders. It is a scoreless ball game on to the third inning from Frisco, Texas. So glad that you're with us here on the Riders Baseball Network. Alongside Zach Bigley, I'm Josh Warden. Game 2 of a 6-game series between the Sod Poodles and the Frisco Rough Riders. Jack Leiter into the line. The first pitch to Kevin Vicuña is a strike. Leiter has struck out 2 in each inning, allowed just 1 single as the only base runner so far in this Wednesday evening affair. The wind for the 0-1 from Leiter. A curveball that drops in for strike 2. Got his strikeouts, 3 of them on fastballs, 1 of them on a back foot slider. And has 2 strikes on Vicuña. Here's the offering. Fastball swung on and missed. Struck him out on 3 pitches. On a fastball center cut, but still unhittable. 3rd strikeout in a row for Jack Leiter and his 5th of the evening. For a guy who went 11 innings his last 2 starts combined. No, not each. And no earned runs. 5 hits, 15 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch to Nick D'Alessandro. Curveball that's lifted to left field. Fairly deep, but Trevor Hauver gets under it in the gap and makes the catch. First pitch put out, and that's a good compliment to all the strikeouts, which, as good as they are, still can raise the pitch count a little bit. And that one on the first offering gets D'Alessandro out, and now Jack Leiter has gone through the Amarillo lineup 1 time, allowing just 1 hit and no runs. Top of the third continues with Ryan Bliss to the plate. 2 down, nobody on base. First pitch to Bliss, a fastball fouled away. Behind home plate, clipped off Cooper Johnson, the catcher, and he'll need a moment to collect himself. Just 1 single, which is something Amarillo didn't do yesterday. They only got 2 hits all game long, a triple and a home run, back-to-back off of Tekoa Roby. As Ichi Takazawa comes out to take a look at Cooper Johnson, who walks over to him. But just 1 single in all of today's game and none yesterday. On a terrific day by TK Roby.
That's the last thing the Rough Riders need is any kind of catcher injury, as Scott Capers was placed on the temporary inactive list before today's game. He caught a foul ball off the top of his right hand, and that one just hit right off the mask of Cooper Johnson on the foul tip by Ryan Bliss, and it looks like Ichi Takazawa is applying some pressure to his chin. Hopefully he's all right.
And squarely off the center of the mask, and now he's holding that towel to the bottom of Cooper Johnson's chin.
And here comes Alex Rodriguez as well, the training coordinator for the Rangers.
Scott Capers having to leave yesterday's game. Liam Hicks came in and caught basically the entire game. I mean, all 27 outs. He was there, very first batter when Scott Capers had to exit. Good thing for the Rough Riders, they have 3 catchers on the roster. Previously, they had only carried 2. David Garcia and Scott Capers, neither of whom are active now. And so it's Cooper Johnson and Liam Hicks, the healthy catchers, and maybe it's not so much Cooper Johnson anymore either, although I hope he's okay. And maybe just a little bit of a cut on the chin, best case scenario.
Well, the tough thing is he has to put the mask right back on right after that.
Right,
so
right where it was. Well, like I was saying, just 1 single allowed when Liam Hicks became the battery mate for Tekoa Roby. 6 1/3 shutout, hitless innings for the young right-hander TK Roby. And no singles. Today, Amarillo has 1. And a rare sequence with the singles. I was reading an article by Jason Stark of The Athletic earlier this morning about how the rule changes in Major League Baseball affected the game now that we have a bit of a sample size as Cooper Johnson starts to walk back to the dugout. And with the defensive shifts, the pitch clock, the larger bases, one of the biggest changes, kind of the ones you'd expect, is no more shifts. Left-hand hitters are increasing their batting average, and one of the biggest changes is, hey, there's a lot more singles. The old art of the little base hit up the middle or through the right side. And if you really don't like singles, well, yesterday was a game for you with none of them for Amarillo. As Cooper Johnson still checked out at the top of the dugout for Frisco's. Ichi Takazawa, the trainer, continues to apply pressure to his chin.
And they just pointed down the bullpen for Liam Hicks, who came into the game yesterday after just 2 batters, right in the middle of the second batter, and now he's coming in again out of the bullpen, and he might have to take over from Cooper Johnson if they can't stop the bleeding.
Yeah, there's 1 out in the first inning yesterday, and then Liam Hicks went the rest of the way. Had to kind of chat with TK Roby after the first inning, as usually they go through all the game plan meetings with the pitcher and catcher about how they want to attack hitters and just game planning. Well, Liam Hicks was not part of that meeting yesterday. He wasn't supposed to be the starting catcher, but he caught basically the entire game. And that may happen again today. Third inning. And he's going to probably come in and become the battery mate of Jack Leiter. And those two you may have heard in the pregame conversation. Those two had a conversation yesterday. Liam Hicks was catching TK Roby, and everything was going well. And Jack Leiter came up to Liam Hicks in the dugout partway through yesterday's game and was giving Liam Hicks some advice. Hey, TK's throwing well here, maybe throw some more fastballs. He was just giving Liam Hicks advice, which I'd love to see that from Jack Leiter. He's caring about one of his fellow pitchers and trying to improve another guy on the roster, give some advice and keep the streak going. And TK Roby went on to have a no-hitter into the 7th inning. As Cooper Johnson does take off the catcher's gear and will walk up the left field line back to the clubhouse. Liam Hicks warming up with Thomas Ajacey and Jack Leiter getting his arm warm. Jack Leiter was throwing with Jax Biggers, the second baseman, to keep his own arm loose, and now Jack Leiter will make some throws off the mound to Liam Hicks. So Liam Hicks comes in for Cooper Johnson to become the new catcher, and he'll hit in the 9-hole. So 2 days in a row, Frisco's catcher does not get an at-bat. The starting catcher gets hurt before his spot in the lineup even comes up. And both times Liam Hicks comes in, and now he's the only healthy catcher on the roster now. I'm sure they have an emergency backup. I hope we don't have to find out who that is. But right now it's Liam Hicks is the only healthy guy. It's the backstop for the Rough Riders.
Who's your money on as the emergency backup?
I feel very confident that, I don't know, I was going to pick as I went along in that sentence and find a name.
So not very confident.
No, I'm not confident. Maybe Nick Tanalou? I don't know.
I was going to say Jax Biggers.
I like that. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Bliss with Liam Hicks behind the plate. A swing and a miss. It's 0-2. So a long break between the 0-1 and the 0-2 now offering. 2 strikes on Ryan Bliss, and the pitch is outside for a ball. Jax Biggers has played every defensive position in the field except for catcher and pitcher, if you count that, for Frisco. So might as well add it, right? Here's the 1-2 pitch to Ryan Bliss. Fastball low and away.
He's a good athlete. He could play back there, I bet.
He could. You picked well. I think you win. But I hope we don't have to see him.
Me too.
Behind the dish. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Jack Leiter. Trying to finish out the 3rd inning. He's got 2 outs. Goes into the wind. Leiter deals, swing, and a foul ball right back to the netting. 1 more strikeout this inning. Jack Leiter struck out 2 in the first, 2 in the second. 1 here in the 3rd, and he's got 2 strikes on Ryan Bliss, who had a rare hitless day yesterday. He still leads the league in batting average, but went 0 for 4 last night, or yesterday. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball got him to swing and miss. The slider waved it by him, and Jack Leiter has struck out 2 in each of the first 3 innings. He goes 1-2-3 here in the 3rd frame, and has gone 3 scoreless so far. 16 straight innings without an earned run for Jack Leiter. To the bottom of the 3rd on a scoreless game on the Riders Baseball Network. Bottom trimester of the order for the Rough Riders, the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Jax Biggers, Trevor Hauver, and then it will be Liam Hicks to bat. In a scoreless ball game, home half of the 3rd inning. Jax Biggers to face Denny Olivero, the right-handed starter getting his 7th nod as the starter for the Sod Poodles. First pitch is down and in. And a ball to Jax Biggers. Olivero, who's pitched effectively so far, no hits through the first 2 innings. The 1-0 offering is inside, ball 2. He's faced the minimum thus far with a walk and a double play last inning. Got hit around so far this season, 38 hits in 23 innings. The 2-0 is swung on, grounded towards the left side, fielded by Vukovic. He throws softly to first and beats out Jax Biggers on the 5-3 putout. 1 away in the 3rd. Trevor Haver is next with his .222 batting average. 1 out, nobody on. And a scoreless contest, home half of the 3rd inning. Olivero, the 25-year-old out of the Dominican, trying to lower that ERA of 8.87 coming into tonight's action. He goes into the wind for the first pitch to Haver, and it's inside. Has him jump back just a little bit. Gorgeous Wednesday evening here. Game 2 of the series after a victory yesterday for Frisco. The 1-0 is on the outside edge to even the count. These 2 teams were angling towards a playoff spot last year down the home stretch. Here's the 1-1. It's outside, 2 balls and a strike to Trevor Haver. The team that wins each half in each division gets a playoff spot. Frisco and Amarillo back-to-back. Here's the 2-1, breaking ball at the belt for strike 2. Frisco won the second half to make it into the playoffs. Amarillo had the next best record in the second half in the South Division. The 2-2 is swung on and displayed foul down the left field side. Keeps the count at 2-2. So Amarillo shut out of the playoffs because of Frisco. And the Rough Riders went on to win the Texas League Championship. There's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Trevor Haver. The pitch is swung on and hit, towering fly ball to right field. Enriquez coming in. It's actually Tim Tawa, the second baseman, who makes the catch with his chest facing the right field stands and puts away Trevor Haver. 2 down for Liam Hicks. Did not start this game at catcher, but came in defensively last inning to replace Cooper Johnson, who took a foul ball off his mask. And so Liam Hicks will come in, just like he did yesterday. Hicks went on to walk, fly out twice, and strike out once. First pitch is inside, checked his swing. Hicks, who came into yesterday's action with 5 walks to his name and added a 6th in that action. Here's the 1-0 to Liam. He takes it above the belt, and 2-0 to the Toronto native. 2 hits so far for Liam Hicks in his Double-A debut. 2-0 pitch is inside. Made his official debut last week, and now starting to get more playing time. Not that he expected to today, but he'll take the at-bats when he can get them, enjoying being here with Frisco and loves the Rough Riders. The 3-0 pitch to Liam is at the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Top of the order coming up. If Liam Hicks can get aboard and extend this 3rd inning, it's a scoreless game so far. Second week of a 2-week homestand here in Frisco. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch to Hicks. It's inside. He works yet another walk. Both games, yesterday and today, he comes in off the bench, replacing an injured catcher, and both times he draws a walk in his first plate appearance. This time it's a 2-out base on balls. Aaron Zavala comes up, representing the top of the order. He grounded out in his first at-bat of his 2023 campaign. Just activated for the Rough Riders, starting in right field. First pitch is inside, almost hit him on the feet. It gets to the backstop. Liam Hicks motors up to second base on a wild pitch. So just like that, a 2-out walk, and now a runner in scoring position for the Rough Riders, looking to break the scoreless tie. Yesterday, a tie score down the stretch in that ball game. Dustin Harris provided the 8th inning home run. That was the deciding run. The 1-0 to Zavala, swung on, ground ball through the left side. Liam Hicks to third base. He gets the windmill around. The throw in from Vicuña is in time, and Hicks is tagged out standing at home plate. And that ends the inning. Carlos Cardoza decided to take a chance and take the lead with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. But a good throw from Kevin Vicuña in shallow left field pegs out Liam Hicks at the plate. And we're still scoreless through 3 innings. We head on to the 4th on the Riders Baseball Network. Through 3 innings from Riders Field in Frisco, Texas, the visiting Amarillo Sod Poodles with no runs on 1 hit and no errors. And the Frisco Rough Riders also with no runs on 1 hit and no errors. Jack Leiter back to the hill. He'll face Tim Tawa to begin the 4th inning. As Frisco tries to take the second of a 6-game series, winning yesterday 3-2, and a great pitching performance by TK Roby. Jack Leiter's picked up where Roby left off. First pitch of the 4th inning is on the outside corner. Tawa showed bunt, pulled back, and takes a strike. Jack Leiter, 3 scoreless innings so far today, and 16 innings in a row without an earned run. The 0-1 is swung on, foul tip into the glove of Liam Hicks. Quickly 2 strikes on Tim Tawa, who struck out back in the 1st inning. No balls and 2 strikes from Jack Leiter, who has struck out a pair in each inning so far. 6 strikeouts through 3. And he has 2 strikeouts on the second baseman, Tawa. Longer hold from Jack Leiter, rocking back and forth. Now he goes into his wind. And the pitch is swung on, hit foul down the right side into the seats. Speaking of pitchers, it was fun to see a former Rough Rider make his MLB debut a couple days ago. Cody Bradford, who was pitching at AAA, called up to the big leagues, made his MLB debut against the Braves. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Leiter. A curveball swung on and missed. Low and away. Tim Tawa goes fishing, comes up empty, and it's the 7th strikeout of the evening for Jack Leiter. Excellent work from Jack. 4 pitches, 4 strikes at Tim Tawa. And he has allowed just 1 single today as the only base runner, and that was back in the 1st inning. That was by Caleb Roberts, who's now at the plate. The first pitch to Roberts is taken down the middle for a strike. So 8 in a row sent down by Jack Leiter, with 6 of them struck out. Here's the 0-1 offering to Roberts. It's swung on and missed, and he gets ahead 0-2 yet again. 7 strikeouts already for Jack Leiter. 1 more would match his career high. That was set earlier this month, just his last start, most recently. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Caleb Roberts. It is high and outside for a ball. Cody Bradford making it up to his MLB debut, and did get optioned back down to AAA, but just to get there is impressive, and probably will get back there. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Roberts. Breaking ball, check, swing. Did he go around? Yes. 8th strikeout of the day already for Jack Leiter. Ties his career high, and he punches out 3 in a row and gets Caleb Roberts to swing. Excellent work by Jack Leiter. Another curveball that a little faster than most. That one hit 80 miles an hour, usually mid-70s on the curve. Here's the first pitch to A.J. Vukovic, inside on the curve. So he has struck out 8 now in this ball game and retired 9 in a row. 1 ball, no strikes from Jack Leiter. He winds and comes home. Fastball looked like Vukovic was taking all the way. It was 98 miles an hour, inner half. All of a sudden, we become spoiled by starting pitchers for Frisco. 6 1/3 innings yesterday for Roby. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on, fouled back just over the netting, and caroms off the 3rd deck. 6 1/3 hitless innings yesterday for TK Roby before he allowed a triple and a home run, but still a great start. And now Jack Leiter doing really well so far. The 1-2, breaking ball high and in, and Vukovic bends backwards. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vukovic yesterday helped break that streak. He was the one who had the first hit of the game in the 7th inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Vukovic. A breaking ball just below the knees. A curveball that Vukovic thought about swinging. I'm surprised he didn't. It was a good pitcher's pitch that broke just below the plate and below the strike zone. Payoff pitch now with 2 down. Fastball swung on and missed. He strikes out the side in order. 9th strikeout of the evening for Jack Leiter. How about a career high in punch-outs through 4 innings? And they're scoreless innings. Jack Leiter is dealing. Scoreless ball game, middle of the 4th on the Riders Baseball Network. Evan Carter steps in and begin the bottom of the fourth inning. No score. Here comes Denny Olivero. First pitch bunted, popped up, out of play. Carter sends one into the seats off the barrel. And he has no one count on him to begin the fourth inning. Scoreless game. Jack Leiter has been dealing today. Now it's time for the offense to pick things up here. Evan Carter, who flew out to right field in his first at-bat to the wall, steps in for his second at-bat. The 0-1 pitch to Evan is swung on and blooped into shallow left field. Vicuña coming in. He's able to get there in time and puts away Evan Carter. Luis Angel Acuna is next on an 8-game hit streak. Had an infield single yesterday to extend that streak. He's looking for a one-out base hit against Denny Olivero. No score, bottom of the fourth inning. Olivero into the wind. First pitch is swung on, fouled directly back. At 10,000 in the ballpark yesterday on Education Day, a Tuesday morning game at 11:05. Frisco got the monkey off their back, snapping a 7-game losing streak. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Acuna. He swings a ground ball up the middle. It's fielded on the other side of second base by Tim Tawa. He tries to make a jump throw and can't get it out cleanly. It's a base hit for Luis Angel Acuna, his 9th straight game with a hit. Brings up Thomas Sajaci with one on and one out. In front of the home crowd in Frisco, the Rough Riders winning yesterday at home. They are trying to get that home record in better shape. Just 5-10 at their home ballpark, but I have a feeling those wins are going to start coming. Where they had a good record last year here at Riders Field. Sajaci climbs back in after time was called before the first pitch. Acuna at first, one out, bottom of the fourth inning. Olivero set for the stretch. Acuna goes, first pitch in the zone. Acuna dives in safely and steals second. It's his 16th stolen base this year on 16 attempts. I don't do great math, but 100% is pretty good. 16 for 16. And just behind the league lead in stolen bases this year. 1 ball, no strikes, or pardon me, the 0-1 to Sajaci is down and away. That evens the count, 1-1. Now runner in scoring position for the Rough Riders, trying to be the first team to score this evening. Bottom of the fourth inning. Sajaci at the plate, who led the team in RBIs last week with 9 of them in a single series. Here's the 1-1 to Thomas. He swings and clips it foul off the catcher Roberts. And it's strike 2. That was only a 5-game series. Frisco was rained out on Sunday, and Thomas Sajaci, 9 RBIs in 5 games. Homered twice against Wichita last week here at Riders Field. And a couple of doubles, had 10 hits in 5 games. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Sajaci swings and stays alive with a foul ball down the right field side. Luis Angel Acuna at second base after his single and a steal. There is one out in the inning, no score. This is the second time Frisco's gotten a runner in scoring position, had a runner tagged out at the plate to conclude last inning. That was Liam Hicks trying to score from second on a base hit. Now Acuna is at second base, this time with one out. The 1-2 pitch to Thomas Sajaci is swung on and chopped foul up the first base side. It hit off of Caleb Roberts, the catcher, who's taken a beating this at-bat. The first foul ball wasn't too bad. He just threw the ball right back and stayed in. This time he takes a moment down on his knee, gets up and wiggles the right leg out. Frisco already had its own catcher exit the game. Cooper Johnson was injured and had to leave. Caleb Roberts will stay in. Goes back into his crouch. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Denny Olivero. Now time is called. Requested by the catcher, Caleb Roberts. Outfield playing basically straight up, a little bit squeezed off the lines for both corner outfielders. Infield shifted a bit to the left. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Thomas Sajaci with one out. Acuna dancing around at second. Here's the pitch. It is on the outside corner, taken. Sajaci hops up and down a little bit and walks back to the dugout with strike 3. 93 miles an hour on the fastball outer corner. And Dustin Harris is up next. Runner at second, 2 down for Destin, who homered yesterday in a 3-hit day. A game-winning home run in the 8th inning. Here's the first pitch with 2 outs. Harris takes on the outer half for a strike. Acuna a big secondary lead. And Caleb Roberts thought about throwing down to second, but just bluffs his way. 0-1 the count to Destin Harris. Has a couple 3-hit games recently, including yesterday. The 0-1 is down in the dirt, ball 1. In fact, for Destin Harris, his last 5 games, 3 times he's been hitless, and then twice he has 3 hits. No 1-hit games, no 2-hit games. It's just boom or bust. Earlier today, he flew out 103 miles an hour off the bat, but a fly out to the right fielder. A throw back to second. Acuna returns in time. 2 outs. Luis Angel Acuna, the go-ahead run, represented at second base. The outfield shifted to the right. The left fielder, Kevin Acuna, playing a mile from the left field line. Here's the 1-1. Harris swings and high fly to right center field. D'Alessandro drifting back. He makes the catch in front of the warning track and puts away Destin Harris. Frisco strands a runner in scoring position. Luis Angel Acuna with a single and a steal, but that's all Frisco gets in the 4th. We head to the 5th inning. Zach Bigley back in the call when we return in a scoreless ball game on the Riders Baseball Network.
Back inside Riders Field, Jack Leiter dealing with 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. No score between the Rough Riders and Sod Poodles. And here on this beautiful Lives night, we are joined by 2 very special guests. It's Caroline and Aubrey. How you guys doing today? Good. Good. Jack Leiter will go to work against Davison de Los Santos here in the 5th inning. The wind back in the first pitch. Breaking ball high and inside, 1 ball and no strike. So I understand you guys got to experience the baseball camp earlier today. How was that?
Yeah. It's good.
What was your guys' favorite part?
My game. Baseball and meet the players.
Pitch is cut on the miss, and it's 1-1.
And
did you get a baseball?
yeah.
All right.
And throw the ball.
There's a ground ball up the middle. Acuna fields it short, flicks it sidearm onto first for the out, and there's 1 away in the 5th inning. Adrian Del Castillo steps in, no score in the top of the 5th. For those who don't know, the Beautiful Lives Project is a wonderful organization that helps those with disabilities get an opportunity to experience activities, and we're joined by Caroline and Aubrey. I understand you 2 are sisters, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
And big baseball fans.
Yep. Yeah.
There's the wind back. And Leiter's first pitch is drilled down the right field line. A long run in for Aaron Zavala, and he's there to make the catch, and there are quickly 2 outs. Now, you see the Allen baseball hat. You go to a lot of Allen baseball games?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite thing about going to Allen baseball games?
Get a home run and sign autographs.
Yeah.
That's great. What did you guys learn at the baseball camp earlier today?
Pitch.
You learned how to pitch. The first pitch is high and inside to Robbie Enriquez, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah.
Did you guys learn what a double play? Turning the double play up the middle?
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. It was really cool to watch. It was manager Carlos Cardoza, pitcher Nick Krauth, and John Goebel, the Rough Riders pitching coach, that were helping all the kids experience some time here at Riders Field. The pitch is fouled away back behind home, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this is obviously such a beautiful building. What do you guys think of being able to play on the field?
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. What else have you guys been able to do today?
Just have fun. Yeah.
A 1-2 cut on and missed in the dirt. Jack Leiter with his 10th strikeout. That was pretty fun, huh? We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Special thanks to Caroline and Aubrey for joining me. Thanks so much, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, we're scoreless as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Rough Riders and Sod Poodles here on the Riders Baseball Network. Nick Tanalou begins the Rough Riders' 5th inning. No score. First pitch. High off the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and no strike. Special thanks to Caroline and Aubrey for joining us in the top half of this 5th inning on Beautiful Lives Night. The 1-0 offering. off the plate away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Really, really fun night. The Beautiful Lives Project, again, is an organization that gives people with disabilities the opportunity to participate. The pitch. There's a high fly ball out to deep left field. Vicuña just watches. That one's long gone. Nick Tanalou with his 4th home run of the season. He homers in back-to-back games. And for the 2nd night in a row, he gives the Rough Riders a 1-0 lead. On a 2-0 pitch, 404 feet out to left, 100 miles an hour off the bat. Must have been the good batting practice before the game today. First pitch to Jax Biggers. Misses high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Biggers a ground out to third his first time up, 1-0 Frisco. The pitch. High and inside, 2 balls, no strikes. The offering is low. Three and 0 on Biggers. Here's the wind back in the pitch. Down the heart of the plate for his strike. 3-1. Jax waits in the pitch. Catches the outside corner. It's 3-2. Biggers has 2 homers in his career off Olivero, including in Amarillo earlier this year. Part of a 3-home run streak. Olivero has his sign. The right-hander peels back the payoff home. High, ball 4. Homer and a walk begin the 5th inning for the Rough Riders. Nick Tanalou with a solo home run. Trevor Hopper makes his way to the plate. And time called. And the pitching coach, Tom Gorzalani, makes his way out of the dugout as this thing has escalated a little quickly on Olivero. Jack Leiter with 10 strikeouts through 5 innings for the Rough Riders, and now Frisco gives him the lead. For whatever reason, Jack Leiter just didn't get any run support last year. Got the lowest run support out of anybody with the Rough Riders pitching staff. This year he is getting run support, an average of 6 runs a game. But not so much today. He has a 1-0 lead now. Oh for 1 day for Trevor Hopper in from the left side. Olivero from the stretch, he fires. There's a line drive into left center field with eyes for the alley. It's down for a base hit. Biggers around second on his way to third. Hopper stops at first base. Runners on the corners for the Rough Riders and nobody out, leading 1-0. Liam Hicks to the plate. Hicks walked and was thrown out of the plate back in the third. Here's the stretch and the offering in. Misses high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Hicks has now reached safely in all of his games of the Rough Riders. Walking in every single game at least once. Right-hander ready from the stretch. And he delivers in. Down low and inside, 2 balls, no strikes. And once again, he's ahead in the count at 2-0. He walked back in the third. Hopper leads from first, Biggers from third. 1-0 Frisco in the 5th. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball foul back behind home, and it's 2-1. Joined Josh's conversation earlier today with Liam Hicks. The Canadian coming up to the Rough Riders after a ton of offensive success, hitting .315 with High A Hickory in the first 15 games. Throw goes over to first base, and hovers back in with a step and a dive. Really just a genuinely nice guy.
Very Canadian. I mean, I don't mean to stereotype Canadians, but it's a positive stereotype.
2-1. Swinging a soft roller right side past the mound. Tawa fields from second. Underhand flip to first is in time to get Hicks. Biggers comes in to score from third. And the Rough Riders now lead 2-0. Hover up to second base. There's one out in the inning. A productive out for Liam Hicks. He drives in a run. And Aaron Zavala steps into the top of the Riders' card. First pitch. Watch the breaking ball inside edge, 0-1. Aaron Zavala, a single back in the third for his first hit of the season. A very big welcome back to him as he makes his 2023 debut today. The 0-1. Swinging a line drive to right field, in for a base hit. Hover up to third, he gets the stop sign. Enriquez hits the cutoff man from right field. And they're runners on the corners again, this time with one out for the Rough Riders. Aaron Zavala's 2 for 3. Zavala a season ago came up about halfway through the year and joined Frisco and immediately had a monster month. He slowed things down a little bit in the last month and a half of the season in AA, but really a strong showing for Zavala as just a 21-year-old. Pitch to Carter. On the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Zavala with the Rough Riders last year hit .277 with a .410 on-base percentage. And walking's what he's known to do. He draws a throw here and he dives back in. 14 stolen bases last year in his 111 games. He walked 89 times in those 111 contests. Also clubbed 16 homers. He grabs his lead. The 0-1. Carter swings, lines it down the right field line. Fair ball into the corner. Hover in to score. Zavala's flying to third. He comes in to score. Carter to third base with a 2-run triple. 4-0 Frisco. Evan Carter got in front of a slider in the middle of the plate and lined it down the right field line. His first hit of the series, he drives in 2 with a 3-bagger, and that ends the day for Denny Olivero. Sean Roof exits the dugout. He makes the motion down the right field line. And it's a pitching change for the Amarillo Sod Poodles in this 5th inning. Blake Workman comes out of the bullpen. 4-0 Rough Riders. Home half of the 5th with one out and a runner at third on the Riders Baseball Network. What an inning for the Rough Riders. A solo home run for Nick Tanalou. And Blake Workman takes over. First pitch to Acuna is cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Followed by an RBI ground out from Liam Hicks. And then a 2-run triple by Evan Carter, who's now at third base. Infield in for the Sod Poodles. And the 0-1. Acuna swings and misses on a breaking ball off the outside corner. And it's now 0-2. Acuna extending his hitting streak to 9 games back in the 4th inning. Rough Riders lead 4-0. Home half of the 5th. Blake Workman taking over for Denny Olivero, who's still responsible for Evan Carter at third. Workman brings in the 0-2. Down the middle, strike 3 called. Acuna strikes out on a fastball. He strikes out on 3 pitches. 2 away, and the first strikeout for Blake Workman, and Thomas Sajasi becomes the 8th man up to the plate in the inning. Blake Workman 1-0 with a .474 earned run average over 10 games. 25 strikeouts in 19 innings, all with Amarillo. Right-hander ready from the stretch, he fires. And time called right before. Pull side shift on the infield for the right-handed batter. First pitch, whacked foul right side, 0-1. So JC 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout looking. So JC has been such a force on the offensive side over the last couple months. Over his last 25 games, hitting .308. Workman delivers outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-0 Rough Riders trying to add on in this 5th inning. Workman from the stretch, 1-1. Low off the outside corner, 2-1. Rough Riders trying to win back-to-back games after losing 7 in a row. They would take the series lead over Amarillo with a win today as well. The 2-1, fouled straight back, and it's 2-2, that being the season series lead. 11th meeting head-to-head between these two teams this season. They're 5-5. 2-2 here in Frisco, 3-3 in Amarillo. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Here's the stretch. The 2-2. Whacks it foul right side up onto the concourse. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. So JC has gone intermittently with the 1 batting glove because of some blisters on his hands. He normally goes no batting gloves. He has the thumb guard on his right hand here in this at-bat, and he calls time. Southern California kid out of Carlsbad. Back in from the right side. The 2-2. Swinging a line drive, right field, hanging up. Enriquez coming in, and he has to play it on a hop. A base hit for Sajasi, and Carter comes in to score. 5-0 Rough Riders. Enriquez charging in. He could not quite get there, and Sajasi just fits it into right for an RBI single. 9th man up in the inning. It's Dustin Harris, 5 runs in for the Rough Riders. Workman offers. Over the heart of the plate for a strike, and it's 0-1. 0 for 2 day for Dustin Harris. The Rough Riders nearly batting around in this 5th inning. And they're double shy of the inning cycle. The pitch. Swinging a line drive down the right field line, a fair ball. So JC up to second, steaming towards third. He's getting the wave home. Enriquez throw to the plate is offline. Thomas Sajasi scores on the RBI double from Dustin Harris, and the Rough Riders lead 6-0. There's the inning cycle on the double down the right field side. And the 10th man up to the plate in the frame, it's Nick Tanalou, who began it with a homer. The Rough Riders putting up the offense in this inning. Workman ready from the stretch, and he offers. Over the heart of the plate for a strike, it's 0-1. First time the Rough Riders have scored 6 or more runs in an inning since April 28th in the first inning against Amarillo on the road when they put up 8 in that inning. Workman the 0-1 off the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And granted, Amarillo, their pitching staff struggled a little bit, but mostly because of the ballpark they play in. On the road, they've been fine. Stretch in the 1-1. Swinging a fly ball to deep left field. Vicuña going back, looking up. It's gone! Nick Tanalou with his 2nd homer of the inning. And the Rough Riders blowing open a 2-run shot, makes it 8-0. Nick Tanalou, have yourself a ball game, have yourself a last 25 minutes. Five homers now for Nick Tanalou. And here's Jax Biggers. Workman from the stretch. He fires in. It's on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. 8-0 Frisco. All 8 runs coming in this 5th. Stretch in the pitch. Biggers watches a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone for a strike, and it's 0-2. Well, Frisco has just opened it up. The inning has gone homer, walk, single, RBI ground out, single, triple, strikeout, single, double, home run. 0-2. Foul away left side. It's still 0-2 on Biggers, the Riders' second baseman. 8-0 Frisco. Right-hander stretches and offers. Swinging a high fly ball down the left side. Vicuña on the run towards the line, still going in foul territory. Makes the catch and mercifully brings this one to an end for Amarillo. The Rough Riders score 8 times in the inning. They do it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 2 home runs in the inning for Nick Tanalou. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Jack Leiter, oh, by the way, he has 10 strikeouts today. It's 8-0 Rough Riders on the Riders Baseball Network. One at bottom of the 5th inning for the Frisco Rough Riders. They score 8 times and lead 8-0. Kevin Vicuña leads it off against Jack Leiter in the first pitch. Just outside, 1 ball, no strikes, missing with a cutter. Kevin Vicuña, Nick D'Alessandro, and Ryan Bliss, 8-9-1 duo. Leiter the 1-0 pitch. On the outside edge for a strike, we're even at 1-1. Jack Leiter with a career-high 10 strikeouts through 5 innings. He's been brilliant. One of the best starts of his minor league career tonight. The 1-1. High with a fastball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Rough Riders score 8 runs on 7 hits in the top of the 5th inning, including 2 home runs from Nick Tanalou. An incredible performance. The 2-1. This is low, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Leiter's only allowed 1 base runner. That came back in the first inning. He's retired 13 in a row. The 3-1 pitch. This is high, and that ends that streak. A walk to Vicuña to start things off in the 6th inning, and Nick D'Alessandro steps in. That's one of the things when you have a pitcher that's throwing so well. Of course you want to score runs, but an 8-run inning takes time, and Rough Riders, unfortunately on the offensive side, because they did so well, they made sure that Jack Leiter was still sitting on the bench, and he had a long time off during that 8-run inning. First pitch to D'Alessandro. Ground ball, right side of the infield. Biggers fields, turns, throws to second for one. Acuña to first. Oh, they got him. A spectacular double play by the Rough Riders. Unreal. Biggers fielded, jumped from second base, threw onto second for the out, and they turned it for one of the best double plays you'll ever see. My goodness. What a twin killing for Frisco. And there are 2 away in the 6th inning. Leiter winds back and fires into Bliss. It's fouled back, and it's 0-1. Oh, goodness gracious. The defense, the pitching, the offense, everything's worked tonight for the Rough Riders. Leiter nods yes to the sign. And the offering in, it's just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Price of admission right there. That was worth it. The 1-1. Swinging a line drive to short. Acuña tries to backhand it. It goes off his glove to Biggers at second. Throws to first, and it's not in time. Oh, man. That would have been spectacular. He tried to backhand it, went off of his glove, and if that's any other runner in the lineup besides Ryan Bliss, they get the out, but the speedy leadoff hitter just beats it. On the infield, single, I assume. We'll see what they actually rule it. That would have been incredible. He's at first base. Tim Tawa, the batter. 8-0 Rough Riders. Leiter's pitch is high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Still no ruling on it. Leiter readies, and the offering in. High and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. 72 pitches now for Leiter here in the 6th. Yesterday we saw Tekoa Roby go 6 1/3, the longest outing by any Rough Rider this year. 2-0 pitch. Swinging a line drive to right field. That's in for a base hit. Zavala gets it back in quickly. Back-to-back base runners here in the 6th inning against Leiter. And Caleb Roberts steps to the plate. 8-0 Frisco. They do give Ryan Bliss a single, by the way, to the shortstop Acuna, as that ball was blistered off the bat. Caleb Roberts is 1 for 2. He was the first man to pick up a base hit against Leiter back in the first inning. Stretch and the right-hander's pitch. Down low and inside on the curve, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Leiter with 10 strikeouts. New career high. He picked that up through 5 innings. The 1-0. Ground ball foul on a check swing back behind home, and it's 1-1. 10 strikeouts. He becomes the first Rough Riders pitcher with double-digit strikeouts in a game since June 17, 2022, when Cody Bradford struck out 11 against the Midland Rockhounds. Cody Bradford now a big leaguer with the Rangers. 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, and it's 1-2, and he has a chance to tie Cody with his 11th. It would end the inning. Already struck out Roberts once in a 1-2 pitch. 8-0 Rough Riders, top of the 6th inning. It's been a spectacular game for Frisco. Leiter, the 1-2. Down low and inside, just missing with the slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Frisco faithful weren't a fan of that call from home plate umpire Kellen Martin. Leiter nods yes to the sign. And his 78th offering of the night. Just high and away with a 97-mile-an-hour heater. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners will take off on this action pitch. Runners at first and second. 2 down in the inning. Leiter looks in. He has his sign from Liam Hicks, the catcher. The right-hander ready from the stretch and steps off. Time called at home. Pitch clock was winding down on Leiter. He's now ready to go. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball, charged deep down the right field line towards the corner and gone. Caleb Roberts whacks a 97-mile-an-hour fastball out of here. It was up and in. 101 miles an hour off the bat, 365 feet, and it breaks up the shutout for Leiter. A 3-run homer with 2 outs in the 6th inning. For the 2nd consecutive game, it's a homer against the Rough Riders starter that breaks up the shutout late in the game. The pitch to A.J. Vukovic is cut on and missed in a high fastball, and it's 0-1. Yesterday in the 7th inning, it was a homer against T.K. Roby by Davison de los Santos. The 0-1. High off the outside corner, miss with the fastball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And today it's Caleb Roberts who takes Leiter deep. 1-1 toss. Low off the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wind back in the 2-1. Fouled straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leiter trying to get out of it. It would still be a quality start if he finishes through this inning. He is 2nd in his last 3 outings. He nods yes to the sign from Hicks. Back into his wind. He brings in the 2-2. Soft ground ball, third base side. So JC backhand, sets his feet, throws, got him, and Jack Leiter is through 6 innings. He gives up the 3-run homer to Caleb Roberts. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. But what a performance by the number 2 pitching prospect in the Rangers organization, allowing 3 runs over 6. He strikes out a career-high 10, and the Riders lead 8-3 to the home half of the 6th inning next on the Riders Baseball Network. Home half of the 6th inning, Rough Riders and Sod Poodles. What a crazy last couple halves of innings as the first pitch to Trevor Hopper sears the outer edge for a strike, and it's 0-1. Frisco scores 8 in the bottom half of the 5th inning. It was previously a scoreless game. Workman from the stretch, the 0-1. Down low and inside to Hopper, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. including 2 home runs from Nick Tanalou on an incredible performance. And Caleb Roberts hits a 3-run home run in the top half of the 6th inning against Jack Leiter for the first runs that he allowed on the day. 1-1 pitch. Haber swings, comes up empty on a high fastball, and it's 1-2. The Rough Riders lead 8-3. Bottom half of the 6th inning. It was a great ball game before this. Now it's gotten a little bit out of hand in the favor of the Rough Riders. Frisco and Amarillo played a wonderful game yesterday. The pitch drilled into left field, right at Vicuña. He comes in, dives, and makes the catch. And there's 1 out. It was a line drive directly at him. He froze and then waited for it to kind of make its move off to his right. Took a couple hard steps in and was able to dive and make the catch. Pretty play from Vicuña in left field. 9-hole hitting Liam Hicks to the plate. First pitch. Strike on the outside corner, upper edge. 0-1. Good couple productive plate appearances for Liam Hicks in this one so far from the 9 spot. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Big breaking ball, and it's 0-2. He walked back in the 3rd and then an RBI ground out in the 5th inning. Tell you what, he's probably been one of the more valuable players since coming to the Rough Riders, especially what he's been able to do these last 2 days, just being able to fill in as a catcher with back-to-back catcher injuries. The pitch. Fouled away left side. It's still 0-2. Scott Capers left in the 2nd batter of the game yesterday. Cooper Johnson left in the 3rd inning today. Both taking foul balls off them at the plate. Capers, it was the hand. X-rays are negative, though he was placed in the temporary inactive list. 0-2. Down low and inside, 1-2. And then for Johnson, it was the mask. Got a foul ball right back off the mask. And they couldn't stop the bleeding on his chin, so he had to come out of the game. 1-2, cut on and missed for strike 3 on a high outside fastball, 2 away. Second strikeout for Blake Workman. Top of the order, and Aaron Zavala due up for the Rough Riders, leading 8-3, bottom half of the 6th inning. This is game number 34 of the season for the Rough Riders. They did have the one canceled as well on Sunday. First pitch. Zavala cracks it foul left side off his hands, and it's 0-1. He's 2 for 3 today in his debut in the 2023 season. It's going to set up to be a very interesting stretch run in the first half. 0-1. Clips the outside edge for a strike, and it's 0-2. Rough Riders currently 4.5 games back of the Midland Rockhounds in the Texas League South. Amarillo 4 games back, and everyone's pretty close. San Antonio just 2 back, and Midland leads. It's not like the North. The pitch. Swinging a foul back off the catcher, and it's still 0-2. Arkansas and Tulsa are tied for the top spot in the North Division at 22-12. Frisco will travel to Arkansas next week, by the way. But the 3rd place team, the pitch, swinging a miss at a high fastball, and Zavala's down on strikes to end the inning. They're 5.5 games back, which is further than the 5th place team is from the 1st place team in the South. It's going to be very interesting. 1-2-3 inning for Blake Workman in the 6th. Top 7 next. Rough Riders leading 8-3, and Josh Warden on the mic next when we return on the Riders Baseball Network.
Well, a gorgeous night for baseball in Frisco, Texas. We head on to the 7th inning. Through 6 frames from Riders Field, the Amarillo Sod Poodles with 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors. And Frisco with 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Alex Spies comes in. His first pitch to A.J. Vukovic is just a little bit high for ball 1. Pardon me, Davison De Los Santos is the hitter. Leading off in the 7th inning, 8-3 Frisco. The 1-0 pitch to De Los Santos is fouled into the glove of Liam Hicks. And strike 1 from Alex Spies, who replaces Jack Leiter. Excellent day for Jack. He does finally give up 3 runs right at the tail end of his start. But he was cruising, dominating, and unhittable for a good portion of this ball game tonight. The 1-1 to De Los Santos is fouled away. Jack Leiter's final line in today's ball game, and a really excellent start against the Sod Poodles Jack goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts for a career high in that category. Here's the 1-2 pitch. De Los Santos grounds on the third base side and foul. Alex Spees entering for his 10th game of the year. ERA of 1.74 for Alex Spees. Right-hander comes set for the 1-2 pitch. A high leg kick and a fastball grounded toward short. Acuna charges in, fields on the second bounce, throws on a jog, and puts away De Los Santos for a 6-3 putout. Third straight time today that De Los Santos is grounded out to Luis Angel Acuna. The first of them was a bare-handed spectacle of a play. This one more routine. And now Adrian Del Castillo, the batter. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 7th inning. And a 5-run advantage for the Rough Riders. Alex Spees deals and a fastball low and away. Del Castillo showing bunt for a moment, pulled back. Thomas Sajaci jogging in on the grass and will retreat back to the dirt, playing just behind the base path. Backs up a couple extra steps, still playing fairly deep to Del Castillo. The second pitch swung on, grounded back to the mound. Alex Spees fields, runs it towards first base and underhands for the out. 2 down. 8-3 Frisco, top of the 7th. It brings up Robbie Enriquez. Well, the Texas Rangers winning yesterday against Atlanta 7-4, getting some revenge on the Braves, splitting the first couple games of that series. Rangers are 26-16 now on the season, 10 games over 500 for the big league club. They're with the Double-A affiliate. The Rough Riders ahead 8-3. Left-hand hitter Enriquez is in. The first pitch to him is taken down and in for a ball. It's good to have good managers. The Rangers led by Bruce Bochy, of course. And not every year goes like that. It was on this date back in 1985 the Rangers hired Bobby Valentine. Right during the middle of the season they had fired Doug Rader. Here's the 1-0 to Enriquez, and it's called strike 1-1. The Rangers had started 9-23 that season in 1985 and had to make a switch partway through. This season, no questions about Bruce Bochy, and a good start. The 2-1 pitch, it is on the outside half for strike 2. Good to have Carlos Cardoza, the manager here at the Rough Riders, his first season, and we have not heard a bad word about Carlos Cardoza, nor do we have any of our own. Just an excellent leader. All the players speak highly of him, whether they're on the microphone in an interview or off the mic. Here's the 2-strike pitch to Enriquez. He swings a soft grounder foul at the first base side. Cardoza's first year, he replaces Jared Gettert, the manager from a year ago. Asked Carlos Cardoza how long he goes back with Jared, if he knows him well, and he goes back about 7 years with the manager he took over for. They joined the Rangers organization the same year. The pitch to Enriquez is outside, and now a 2-2 count to Robbie Enriquez with 2 outs, nobody on. 8-3 lead for the Rough Riders in the top half of the 7th inning. It's good to see just Cardoza know the familiarity and know the former manager. Here's the pitch. It is outside to load the count full. I asked John Matthews beginning of the season just what he thought of Carlos Cardoza, because he played for him in Hickory at the high A level. And talked about just the high energy and players playing the brand of baseball that Cardoza likes. Here's the payoff pitch. Enriquez swings and chops it foul behind home plate. Enjoy having Carlos here. His parents are big baseball fans. His dad, Carlos, likes to come out to games. He won't watch on the stream as much. He likes being in person, but I know Carlos's mom, Lizzie, does watch. So I want to give a shout out to Lizzie, Carlos's mom. Your son's doing a great job. Here's the 2-strike pitch, a grounder towards second, backhanded by Jax Biggers. He throws in time the first. Then Alex Spees cruises through a 1-2-3 inning with 3 ground balls. And that's all in the 7th. Still 8-3, Frisco in front. Time to stretch from Riders Field. Bottom half of the 7th coming up on the Riders Baseball Network. Welcome back on the Riders Baseball Network. So glad that you're with us on a Wednesday evening where Frisco has jumped out in front to an 8-3 lead. It'll be Evan Carter to lead off for the Rough Riders, trying to extend that 5-run advantage. And it is a new pitcher into the ballgame. Michel Otanez has come in for the Amarillo Sod Poodles. And he will face Evan Carter, who tripled his last at-bat, beginning here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch to Evan Carter, swung on and missed. And an 0-1 count from Otañez. He takes over for Blake Workman, who came in during that crazy 5th inning and tried to settle things down. Second pitch to Evan Carter is at the bottom of the zone for strike 2. Workman gave up that second home run to Nick Tanalou, but then had a 1-2-3 inning last frame. Now Otañez for the mound. The 0-2 pitch to Carter is at the knees again, and strike 3 looking. And Evan Carter strikes out. He's still 1 for 4 today with that triple, his first of the season. He actually had a triple against Amarillo on opening day, but, well, he didn't really. He was called out on appeal at second base for missing the bag, so technically it was just a single. And does have his first triple of the year today. He strikes out this inning, however. Luis Angel Acuna to the plate. 1 out, nobody on. The pitch, a check swing. He did not break his wrist. And ball 1. 8-3 lead for Frisco. Bottom half of the 7th inning. The series. Oh, we got an animal on the field. What was that? Was that a bunny? No, something bigger. I missed it. It's running around behind home plate. I couldn't see it. It's behind the padding, so it's blocked from our view, but it's scurrying around, and now maybe left. I guess we're going to keep playing.
It just went up into the stands.
Oh, okay. Did you see what it was?
It was a rabbit.
Oh, it was. Okay. Here's the first pitch to Acuna. The second pitch, I should say, fouled back to make it 1-1.
We have rabbits all over the place here. Never seen one on the field during a game, but
it ran behind home plate, scurried towards the Frisco dugout, reverted course, went back towards the Amarillo dugout, and then took a hard right turn up into the stands. Well, we got humans and bunnies out here at the ballpark taking in Frisco baseball. Here's the 1-1 to Acuna. He swings a hard hit ground ball foul out the left field line. Acuna, who's quick as a rabbit, had his 16th steal of the game earlier today.
Nice.
Thank you. Been waiting all night for that one. I was just hoping for a rabbit to run on the field so I could make that comparison. Acuna has not been caught this whole season. 16 for 16 in stolen bases. He'd like to get aboard here and try for another one. The 2-strike pitch is high. Ball 2. 8-3 Frisco. 1 out, nobody on. This series starting out much better than last week when Frisco did not win a game last series against the Wichita Wind Surge. But 1 win so far and 1 try. Next pitch to Acuna, check swing beneath the zone. He did go around and strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Michel Otañez. And now it's Thomas Ajayci, the batter, with the bases empty. Frisco went 0-5 last week, had Sunday rained out, squandered a 2-run lead on Tuesday, squandered a 3-run lead on Thursday against a team that came in with the worst record in the Texas League. Wichita was able to vastly improve their percentage last week here in Frisco. First pitch to Ajayci is high, ball 1. It was ironic, or maybe not ironic, it was just a trend last year too. Frisco had a winning record against most teams in the Texas League. All but 3 of them in the 10-team league. Here's the 1-0. Ajayci backs away on a pitch inside. 2 of the 3 teams that Frisco had a losing record against last year were the teams that had the worst record in their respective divisions. Frisco had a losing record against both those teams, Northwest Arkansas and Corpus Christi. The 2-0 is just off the outer black, ball 3. And Frisco 0-5 last week against Wichita, the team with the worst record in the whole league coming into the week. Now against Amarillo, 3rd place in the Southern Division here this week. The 3-0 to Ajayci. He takes a pitch down the middle, a rare time where Ajayci is taking all the way. He swings a lot, but that one's center cut. He watches it go by for strike 1. 2 outs, bases empty. 8-3 lead for the Rough Riders. Hitters count for Thomas Ajayci. The pitch, he takes it on the outer half for a fastball at 98 miles an hour. Strike 2. So Ajayci with an RBI single to right field in the 5th inning, part of that 8-run frame. He's 1 for 2 today with a walk. He steps back in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is swung on, foul directly back into the netting. He hit pretty well against Amarillo last series in Hodgetown. 6 hits in 6 games, a couple doubles, a triple. Didn't have any home runs. Here's a 3-2, so JC swings, lifts it foul down the right field side. Pretty well hit over the Amarillo bullpen and lands at the back of the bullpen. And stays alive 3-2. His first 2 home runs of the year came last week against Wichita, albeit in the winless week for the Rough Riders, but Sajaci hit well. Yesterday hitless, albeit in a win. So that's how it goes sometimes. Here's the payoff, so JC swings and fouls it away again. He's done well protecting. Otanez does a good job of mixing speeds. Last pitch, it was a quick side step, kind of almost a quick pitch variety, and that one a little higher leg kick. And so JC stays on time with it, at least enough to foul it away. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Here's the pitch. So JC swings to the off speed out in front and strikes out. 3 batters faced for Michel Otanez. He strikes them all out. And that's 5 straight strikeouts for Amarillo pitchers. It's 8-3, Frisco in front. We are through 7 innings from Riders Field on the Riders Baseball Network. Well, John Matthews comes into this ball game for the Frisco Rough Riders, taking over for Alex Spees, who got 3 ground outs in a 1-2-3 7th inning. John Matthews, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania native, comes in for his 9th appearance of the year. Trying to protect a 5-run lead. It's 8-3 Frisco in the 8th inning. Top half of the 8th, Kevin Vicuña to lead off for the Sod Poodles. First pitch is inside. Vicuña showing bunt and kind of stepping towards the front of the batter's box, but does not make an attempt at it. He's got a strikeout and a walk today. Just his 3rd plate appearance here in the 8th inning. The 1-0 is taken just off the inside corner. I want to give a little shout out to our team photographer today. Happy birthday to Kat Ramirez. Downstairs taking some great photos. There's the 2-0 to Vicuña on the inner half for strike 1. She does a great job and celebrating her birthday today. So thanks for your hard work, Kat. Sure, she's getting some great photos here today. Frisco leading 8-3. Here's the 2-1 to Vicuña. Breaking ball that catches the inner half. Nice looking slider from John Matthews.
Not only that, but the amazing graphics that you see on social media. Also, Kat, the starting pitcher graphics, including the really awesome one for Jack Leiter today.
The 2-2 pitch hit hard down the third baseline, backhanded by Sajaci. He turns around, throws to first in time. Thomas Sajaci in a washing machine makes the play across the diamond and puts away Vicuña. 1 down in the 8th.
The defense for the Rough Riders has just been awesome tonight. And really, at all 3 positions along the infield outside of first base have all made a great play. Biggers at second, Acuña at short, now Sajaci at third.
Crazy on each side. Nick D'Alessandro, the batter, with 1 out. First pitch is in there for a strike. Acuña had that charging in bare hand throw him out at first base play. Biggers a couple innings later with a jump throw back to second to start a twin killing. Here's the 0-1 for Matthews, and it's lifted foul down the right side. Then you just saw that Sajaci play, pirouetting at third base. Nick Tanelu doesn't have a highlight play, but hey, on each of those, he made the final put out and made the catch on each. So he's done his job, and he's homered twice. So the infield doing some good yeoman's work today for the Rough Riders. 8-3 lead for Frisco. The 0-2 pitch with 1 out. Breaking ball popped up towards second base. Biggers running out. There have been a lot of highlight plays. Not this one. It lands over his head for a base hit. Nick D'Alessandro singles. And that's the first hit for Amarillo since that home run back in the 6th inning. Now 1 out in the 8th. Top of the lineup for the Sod Poodles. Ryan Bliss comes up. 1 for 7 so far in this series. Came in hitting over 400. And his batting average has dipped below that 400 mark. First pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Runner at first for the Sod Poodles. 1 out and an 0-1 count from John Matthews. He comes set working from the first base side of the slab. He kicks and the pitch is fouled back. 0-2 from John Matthews. Works with a 4-seamer, a sinker, and a curveball, and a slider, and a changeup. 5-pitch guy who spent most of last year in Hickory before making 3 appearances with Frisco down the stretch. Just 3 innings with the Rough Riders. Got a taste of Frisco baseball and now back here all of this season thus far. Here's the 0-2. Runner goes. Breaking ball fouled up the third baseline. And Nick D'Alessandro will have to trot back to first base. One out here in the 8th inning, 8-3 lead for Frisco. Mentioned earlier the Cody Bradford call up, and just the pitchers that Frisco has been able to produce. Been fun to see all the high prospects. Jack Leiter going today, an excellent start. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Ryan Bliss. He swings and grounds one up the third baseline. A fair ball just over the bag. It goes all the way down into the corner. D'Alessandro digging for third. He'll keep on chugging home. Ryan Bliss stops at second with an RBI double. Makes it an 8-4 ball game. Frisco in front in the 8th inning. He's now in the league lead with 13 doubles. Down the left field line, barely fair by a sliver. Third base coach and manager Sean Roof chatting up Thomas Sajaci. And was that fair? Yes, it was. Sajaci maybe saying, no, it wasn't, but they're laughing about it at third base. Ryan Bliss with the 2-bagger for an RBI. Frisco still in front by 4. John Matthews set to face Tim Tawa with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Fastball grounded, same spot. Now a little more to the left and foul. Ryan Bliss jumping up and down at second base before that pitch, trying to steal or get John Matthews out of sorts. But Matthews got a strike on Tim Tawa. Runner at second, 1 out. 8-4 lead for Frisco in the top half of the 8th inning. Matthews looking into Liam Hicks. The ball behind his back. Now he puts it in his glove as he comes set. They'll throw back to second, and Ryan Bliss dives back. It's cool to see Cody Bradford making it up to the big leagues. He idolized a Rangers pitcher when he was growing up. Derek Holland was one of his favorite players, a former Rough Rider himself and a fellow southpaw with the Rangers. There's the 0-1 offering. Ryan Bliss starts to go and stops. A pitch low and away. 1-1 to Tawa. Derek Holland, who was drafted in 2006, spent the first decade of his career with Texas. He pitched in the World Series in 2011. And Game 4, pitching in the 9th inning when Texas won that game in the 2011 World Series. He pitched with the Rough Riders, not a lot, just 4 starts with the Rough Riders back in 2008. But Derek Holland, a big name and an idol for Cody Bradford growing up, and now Cody is the one pitching with the Rangers, making his MLB debut a couple days ago. John Matthews deals the 1-1 over the plate for strike 2. You can make the argument that Derek Holland is kind of the most recent, really good, long-time starting pitcher that came up through the Rangers minor league ranks. There have been names since then for sure, but now a bunch of names currently in the minor leagues who figure to be big names at the MLB level for years to come. And Jack Leiter among them. Hopeful. There's the 1-2, swung on and missed. John Matthews strikes out Tim Tawa for the second out of the inning. Good-looking breaking ball beneath the zone. 2 down here. Caleb Roberts, the batter, who homered his last at-bat. 8-4 Frisco, bottom half of the 8th inning.
It goes to show you how difficult it is to really develop starting pitching in the minor leagues. Martin Perez, probably the only other guy who you can make that argument since Derek Holland for this organization, but pretty crazy.
With 2 outs, a throw back to second. Matthews just bluffs that way. With Jack Leiter, another great start today. Owen White will start in a couple days. Unfortunate to hear the news about Kumar Rocker. I'm sure he'll be back strong in a year or so's time, but he'll have Tommy John surgery later this week. It's the first pitch to Caleb Roberts at the bottom of the zone for a strike. But you can tell the Rangers' emphasis on getting high-level pitching prospects, knowing that it's hard to win a World Series without some really stellar starters throughout the whole season and in October. The 1-strike pitch to Caleb Roberts, a breaking ball that's low. And 1-1 from John Matthews.
Talking to some Rangers folks earlier today, there are quite a few roving coaches here on hand before the game today. They said Rocker's taking it well. He's in good spirits and he'll be better for it towards the end. And hopefully it's a thing where you can get it over with and you won't have to deal with that kind of injury the rest of his career.
He was at the high A level. Here's the 1-1 to Roberts. He swings, fouls it back. There are high hopes for Rocker this season to get here to Frisco, and it'll be delayed from what those hopes were, but with how good the Tommy John surgery has gotten it, it'll be delayed, but there's no reason to believe Kumar Rocker won't be just as good as he was expected to be a week ago, eventually in his career. The 1-2 pitch with Ryan Bliss running, a fly ball to center field. Evan Carter coming in, a long sprint for him. Going out is Jax Biggers. He backhands on the pop-up in shallow center, then makes the play. What can't this Riders defense do? Highlight plays all over the yard, and Jax Biggers making a nice run-down catch into shallow center. John Matthews puts away the side. 1 run does come in for the Sod Poodles. It's 8-4 Frisco to the bottom of the 8th on the Riders Baseball Network. Dustin Harris is in for the first pitch of the 8th inning. He shows bunt, and it skips behind home plate for a ball. And we begin in the 8th inning. 8-4 lead for Frisco. New pitcher into the ball game for the Amarillo Sod Poodles. Mitchell Stumpo is entered replacing Michel Otanez, who struck out the side in order last inning. The 1-0 pitch. Dustin Harris takes it outside for a ball. Mitchell Stumpo trying to slow down this Frisco offense that has scored 8 runs today, all in 1 inning. 8-4 lead for the Rough Riders. The 2-0 is outside, 3-0 the count. Stumpo, the right-hander, who is entering for his 5th game of the year, 7.36 ERA. Comes set, working from the stretch. The pitch is on the low outside edge. And 3-1 the count to Dustin Harris. Starting out the bottom of the 8th inning, he'll be followed by Nick Tanalou, who has 2 home runs today, both in that 8-run inning in the 5th. Frisco has not scored in any other inning, but that's okay. They've doubled up Amarillo today, 8-4. Here's the pitch to Dustin Harris. He takes it below the knees, ball 4. A leadoff walk for the St. Petersburg College product. And he's aboard for Nick Tanalou. Had 2 home runs in the 5th inning off 2 different pitchers and 2 different types. A solo home run and a 2-run shot. Both of them to left center field. 1 on and nobody out for the Rough Riders. Trying to win the first 2 games of the series. The pitch to Tanalou is outside, ball 1. Frisco snapping a 7-game losing streak yesterday. And a rare close win for Frisco. They had not won a 1-run game this season until yesterday. And they don't necessarily need to do it today. The 1-0 is down the middle for a strike. They have not won a 2-run game this year. So any games decided by 1 or 2 runs, they were winless until yesterday. They were 0-8. Runner at first, Dustin Harris taking a medium-sized lead. He jumps back to the bag, staying on his feet with a throw from Mitchell Stumpo. He stayed with the Diamondbacks organization ever since he signed out of college in 2019. From Raleigh, North Carolina. The 1-1 with Harris going. It's popped up foul and will get into the seats. Dustin will have to turn around and return to first base. Nobody out after Dustin walked to open this inning. And Nick Tanalou, the batter. Tanalou came in with a .283 average and 11 RBIs. He's added 3 today on a pair of long balls. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Tanalou. He swings out in front and strikes out. 1 down here in the 8th inning. Frisco could also tie Amarillo in wins if they close out this game with a victory today. 8-4 lead for the Rough Riders in the 8th inning. And it's Jax Biggers to the plate. Amarillo has played 1 more game than Frisco. The Rough Riders had their Sunday game rained out and canceled, so they'll have 1 fewer game in general. Here's the first pitch to Biggers. He swings and pops it foul on the left side. So Frisco just a half game behind Amarillo in the standings and could leapfrog the Sod Poodles if they win today. And also take a lead in the season series over the Soddies. This is the 11th game. And they've split the first 10 between these 2 clubs. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jax Biggers, an off-speed pitch. He lifts foul down the left side again. 0-2 on the left-hand hitter. 8-4 advantage for Frisco. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Dustin Harris at first base with 1 out. And Jax Biggers with a 6-game hit streak on the line. He has walked today, but not recorded a base hit. Throw over to first, and Harris is back. Has a ground out and a fly out today. Longtime Frisco player, logged 175 games Jax Biggers has entering tonight in a Rough Riders uniform. There's the 2-strike pitch. Harris goes. The pitch high and outside, and the catcher Roberts dropped the ball on the transfer. No throw to second, and Dustin Harris records his 14th steal of the season.
Already entering into today, Harris, if he plays 100 games this season, was on pace for 41 steals this year. That would be by far a career high. And he steals another. He's been so much fun to watch in the base pass this year.
4 home runs as well for the guy who leads all returners for Frisco in home runs and stolen bases this season. Played here last year. Here's the 1-2 to Biggers. It's inside. He jumped away from it, backing his left foot far away from that pitch down and in from Mitchell Stumpo. Runner at second now for the Rough Riders. Bottom of the 8th inning. 8-4 lead in a game that's moved on pretty quickly. Just 2 hours and 11 minutes into this contest. Frisco could close it out next half inning. The 2-2 pitch is a little low, ball 3. Jax Biggers steps back in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. With 1 out here in the 8th inning. Here's the pitch, a fastball. He pops up down the left field side, tailing foul. Vicuña giving it a chase, but no chance to get it. And keeps it a 3-2 count. Vicuña was busy today. In fact, there's not been a lot of balls put in play. Frisco, with Dustin Harris walking, snapped a streak of 5 straight strikeouts. The last 4 balls put in fair territory have all been hit towards Kevin Vicuña, dating back to the 5th inning. There's a 3-2 to Jax Biggers. It's inside, bounced away from it to avoid the hit by pitch. He'll still reach first on a base on balls. It bounced and came back into fair territory, and Dustin Harris stayed at second. And Jax Biggers up to first on a walk. So there's still not been any ball put in play for Frisco since that long 5th inning. We're now in the 8th. Since then, there have been, or I guess the leadoff man in the 6th inning, Trevor Hopper, flew out to left. That's been it. Then 5 straight strikeouts, then a walk, then a strikeout, then a walk. Trevor Hopper steps in with 1 out. Dustin Harris goes to third. The first pitch is on the outside corner. The throw to third skips away. Harris will come down the line to score on a steal and an error, and the Rough Riders are up 9-4. Jax Biggers follows him and trots his way to third base, stealing second, and also advances on the error that will likely be charged to the catcher, though it's a tough error because it's a pretty good throw. It might have clipped off the foot of Dustin Harris as he was sliding feet first into third base. A.J. Vukovic trying to snare that ball and caromed into left field. Both runners advance 90 feet further. Here's the 0-1 to Haver. He swings and lifts it on the left side. Vukovic running towards the seats, and he runs out of room. So Dustin Harris steals 2 bags in the inning, his 14th and 15th of the season, and comes home on the error. 9-4 Frisco. Jax Biggers gets credit for his 5th stolen base. And the first error of the game on either team. No balls, 2 strikes on Trevor Hopper. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Still only 1 out in the inning. And Frisco has finally scored in an inning not called the 5th. Scored 8 runs in that 1 inning and had goose eggs otherwise all across the board until 1 tally here in this frame, and they might get more. Runner at third. Here's the 0-2. Haver swings a hard hit grounder off the glove of Tim Tawa. The infield pulled in and a rocket towards him. He couldn't make the play. And Trevor Haver brings home Jax Biggers on a missile at 105 miles an hour. And Frisco now leads it 10-4. It is called a hit, even though Tawa made contact with that ball, but hard to charge an error on him on that play. Like I said, 105 miles an hour. It'll be an RBI for Trevor Haver. And he singles home Jax Biggers. Double digits for the Rough Riders. Liam Hicks, the batter. First pitch, foul tip into the glove. Still only 1 out in the inning, 2 runs in. Trevor Haver at first base. He's got 2 hits in the day. And the next pitch to Hicks is outside. Frisco had been held to 3 runs each of their last couple games, has not hit double digits since, let me count back to it. It was at Midland, first game of that series on May 2nd. Here's the 1-1. Hicks checks his swing. It was inside for ball 2. Hicks with an RBI ground out today in that 5th inning. Made his debut a week ago at the AA level. And now getting another game played here for the Rough Riders coming in off the bench. 2-1 pitch is grounded first base side, fielded by De Los Santos. Steps on the back, throws to second for the tag, and they got him there. It's a 3-6 double play with Ryan Bliss applying the glove upon Trevor Hauver. And once again, Frisco does not leave a runner on base. They've stranded just 2 today, got a lot of base runners, and they've brought them around home. They get 2 runs in here in the 8th inning and now lead it 10-4 over the Amarillo Sod Poodles. We're done with 8 innings from Frisco. Zach Bigley will have the 9th when we come back on the Riders Baseball Network.
Into the top of the 9th inning, Rough Riders leading 10-4 over the Amarillo Sod Poodles on this beautiful Wednesday night in Frisco, Texas. Alongside Josh Wharton, I'm Zach Bigley. Happy to bring you the play-by-play of today's game. And all games this week, all Rough Riders games all season long. Frisco looking to win their 2nd in a row, and they turn to Antoine Kelly on the mound in the 9th to face A.J. Vukovic, Davison De Los Santos, and Adrian Del Castillo. 4, 5, 6 in the order. 10 runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Rough Riders, 4 runs on 6 hits, and 1 error for the Saudis. Vukovic in from the right side, Kelly ready from the stretch. And the left-hander, I should say, fires in the first pitch. Fastball rips the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Vukovic on an 11-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 3 today. Kelly, the 23-year-old, ready from the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. 0-2. 98 on the gun. Oh, and there was a pitch clock violation before he even stepped into the box, and so that's a strikeout. How about that? Missed the pitch clock violation. There's 1 away. A strikeout of A.J. Vukovic, and Davison De Los Santos steps in. Kelly ready. And the pitch. Fouled away right side. It's 0-1. 1 out of the 9th inning. Frisco leading 10-4. Kelly making his 10th appearance out of the bullpen, a 2.45 ERA. 13 Ks to 14 walks in 11 innings this year. Stretch in the 0-1 offering. Way outside with a slider, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Rough Riders and Sod Poodles will do it again tomorrow for Game 3 of this series. Ryan Garcia will take the ball for the Rough Riders. 1-1 toss on the way to De Los Santos. Fastball fouled away right side. It's 1-2. On the other side, it's the undefeated, unscored upon TBD. Still not sure who's going to start tomorrow for Amarillo, but we'll let you know as soon as we do.
He's got great stuff. I can never know what's coming.
It's really hard to see.
Just a silhouette.
One and 2 on De Los Santos. Left-hander's pitch. In the air, right side, down the line. Zavala gives chase, but watches it go foul onto the warning track. No chance to get it. Ball on 2 strikes still. 6:35 first pitch time tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 6:20. And we hope you can join us. If you can't join us on the air, we hope you can join us here in the ballpark. It's a Thirsty Thursday as well as a Rowdy at the River with $25 tickets getting you to the Lazy River with $2 drinks. 1-2 pitch. Low in the dirt. Hicks blocks. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody aboard anyway. In addition to that, it's Corona Hard Seltzer night tomorrow. Here's the left-hander's 2-2. And time called right before that. Pitch clock violation on Kelly. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Second pitch clock violation of this inning. 1 on each side. 1 out, bases clear. 10-4 Rough Riders. Here's the payoff. Swinging a line drive back up the middle, knocks Kelly down, just missing him, and gets into center field for a base hit for De Los Santos. Man, that was scary. Knocked him down to his backside, didn't hit him. 99-mile-an-hour fastball at the bottom of the zone, 95 miles an hour back to the mound, and Kelly had a glimpse of his life flashing before his eyes when that one was coming back to his hill. Runner at first and one down in the top of the 9th inning. Stretch of the pitch. This is down low, and it's 1-ball. It's no strikes on Adrian Del Castillo. Over 3 tonight. Rough Riders pitching staff is held Amarillo to 4 runs on 7 hits. The 1-0 pitch. Swinging a foul off of Hicks, and then it came back and hit the bat again of Del Castillo, rolled down the third base line. It's 1-1. Don't see that very often. Jack Leiter brilliant tonight for the Rough Riders in his start. 1-1 pitch. Inside off of Hicks's glove, and he's able to corral it before De Los Santos makes his way towards second. 2 balls, 1 strike. If you were to just look at the box score, and we're all baseball fans, we're all in love with looking at box scores, it really doesn't tell you the story of how Jack Leiter threw tonight. 3 runs over 6 innings on 4 hits, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk. 2-1. Upper edge, outside corner with a 98-mile-an-hour heater for a strike, and it's 2-2. He had thrown 6 2/3, or I should say 5 2/3 shutout innings before allowing a 3-run homer to Caleb Roberts. The 2-2. Fouled back.
And that 6th inning almost ended on that grounder, and had that play been made, he would have finished with 6 shutout innings. Still a great game, and then 2 straight games where the starting pitcher does really well, allows a couple runs at the end of their start to go from amazing, fantastic start to really, really good start with a couple runs at the end.
Still 10 strikeouts. It's nothing to sneeze at. The pitch. Rip and a miss. Got him upstairs for strike 3. 2 outs in the 9th inning. Rough Riders 1 out away from a Game 2 win. Robbie Enriquez steps in. 10-4 Frisco. Ten strikeouts, the most by any Rough Riders pitcher this year, and the most since June of last year for a Rough Riders pitcher. First time since double digits. The pitch. Enriquez swings, comes up empty on a slider away, and it's 0-1. It's Cody Bradford did it against Midland. It's back on June 17th of last year. Kelly Reddy's in the 0-1 pitch. Just off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Back-to-back sliders. And a well-placed one that time, but just outside from Antoine Kelly. He readies from the stretch with a runner at first. And brings in the 1-1. Runner takes off. It's just high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Defensive indifference moves him to second base. Rough Riders have used 4 pitchers tonight. Leiter went 6. Spees, Matthews, and Kelly all with a single frame. 2-1 offering to Roby. Robbie, I should say, is on the outside corner for a strike, and Amarillo's down to their final strike tonight. Two and 2. Kelly ready. The pitch. Swinging a foul at the plate. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rough Riders with a win would move to 15-19. Amarillo would fall to 15-20. Rough Riders getting behind Kelly. Here's the stretch, and the right-handers 2-2 on the way. Swinging a foul back out of play. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. The always anticlimactic foul ball on a 2-strike pitch. Down to the final strike. We'll try it again here on 2-2 with a runner at second. 10-4 Rough Riders in the ninth. Kelly brings it home. Swinging a foul at the plate again. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's making Kelly work. It's 23 pitches for him in this ninth inning.
What's more anticlimactic, a foul ball or just a ball outside for ball 3, which he could still do?
I think it's got to be the foul ball. You get that anticipation of a swing, and then you see the ball get fouled.
Did the letdown for the Frisco fans. Good at bat for Enriquez.
No doubt. The 2-2. Just a hair outside at 100 miles an hour. Man, he could have very well gotten that call, but didn't. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This will be the 9th pitch to Enriquez. You can tell Kelly's fired up. He readies. And here she comes. Swing and a miss. He got it. 99-mile-an-hour fastball below the belt, swung on and missed. And the Rough Riders win 10-4. Frisco wins back-to-back games to start this series. They lead this series 2-1, or 2-0, I should say. And it's a big-time victory for the Rough Riders. After losing 7 in a row, they've won back-to-back games. Big performances by Nick Tanalou with 2 homers and Jack Leiter with 10 strikeouts in his start. Frisco improves to 15-19 on the season. Amarillo to 15-20 on the year. Josh Wharton has the post-game show for you next. Rough Riders win it by a final score of 10-4 on the Riders Baseball Network.